Welcome to another Transformers animated review. This time we're going to be looking at the Deluxe Class Swoop figure. Swoop's odd mode is obviously a pterodactyl. As with all the Dinobots, he is based on a dinosaur. This is very well articulated, surprisingly as much as in the wings, because with how you look at it, especially from the back here, with how the arms are just attached to these pieces, you really wouldn't expect any type of motion to them, but they do go to an extent without the arms popping off, upward and forward, and they do go up and down for minimum flying effect. But in case you can tell, the arms don't like to stay on during that motion, but it is possible with these hinges here on the back. Other than that, he is just mainly for good articulation. He does have a lot of it, and a little bit more in his beak here, with some scissor or rigged beak, looks like teeth almost. His head does have a problem where whenever you move it, because his neck and head are made up of 3 sections. None of them are really attached to each other, so if you just go wildly through it, it won't look very good and just pop out in weird places. But if you just have it ever so snugged up, it will look as it should. And its eyes aren't actually black. His eyes have a hole, or basically just a hole. If you look up real close to, not that close, but there. The robot eyes are actually used as the pterodactyl eyes in this mode too. Because if you take it forward a little bit, you can see right through them. So the robot eyes, if you get it just right, will be used as the pterodactyl eyes. Okay. Other than that, there's really nothing else to really say about this mode, because it is, while it is very nicely articulated, you can get poses where it's just sitting like this with its arms up or down for a more natural approach, or if you want to have it look like it's soaring, you could. This figure is really nicely sculpted and is really poseable, but there's a few other things that they could have really done with this figure to give it just more action to it instead of just being poseable. They could have did a gimmick where the wings will automatically flop, look like it's flying. Like they do that kind of stuff with helicopter Transformers all the time, where you push a button and the propellers will spin, whatever they're called on helicopters. But this was mainly just designed for the overall detail, because it does have a lot, especially on the wings here. See, it has the circuitry molded into the wings with endpoints all over the back. But it is a great homage to the original Generation 1 character. A lot better than what they did with the Energon Swoop. The transformation, while still really complicated, did some interesting things that I really didn't expect. Because basically what you're looking at is the robot and just differently posed with like chicken legs. But straighten out the legs, detach the wings from the arms, just get the wings out of the way and pull the arms down, and you're pretty much almost there already. Just one interesting thing that I was talking about is that there's this peg here in the back you can see there's a hole right there, and then the peg that's actually securing the torso to the wing here detaches like that. You can see it start to separate, and at that point you can take the torso up and out, and then there's these slots here on the torso here, which are meant to go in between the side of the pterodactyl's head like that, and take around the back. And now there's these two other slots here on the side where the same peg that which went there before will now go in those two right there, which is a little bit tricky at times. You kind of have to put it up at an angle, but once you do, you'll figure out once you do, because it'll be pretty snug, and the wings will now be at an angle like that. And then rotate the waist around, then the feet accordingly. Straighten out the arms, and last little step is just to extend the head, revealing that very skinny neck. And there he is in robot mode. Pretty simple transformation with a trick here and there, but overall pretty simple. But it really works for the figure, because this robot mode in itself kind of looks like it belongs to the Beast Machines line. Sorry, I'm trying to get him to stand up, because this does something very similar that the Beast Machine toys do, is where they incorporate a little bit more of the design of the alt mode, of the Beast mode, into the robot mode. And this figure does the same. I mean, even in robot mode, it still looks like a pterodactyl, especially in the very pterodactyl-like head of the robot mode, because part of it is the beast mode head, but the face just looks very reptilian, and overall it has a very skinny, agile, bird-like robot mode, which kind of gives it more of a pterodactyl look for the robot mode itself. But, and just like its alt mode, it is very posable. It uses a double hinge on the leg here that gives it full range of posability in the legs, being able to kick its head and going all the way back and off to the side. And the arms are just as well. The only way they could have improved the arms more is to give finger articulation instead of just at the wrist, because it has 3 fingers, 3 if you include the thumb, and they all just are in a fixed position. Okay. And his weapon is along with the volcano or like fire elements of the other Dinobots, is this mace that looks like it's molded from a volcano, which is actually pretty cool. But the only problem I have with that is I don't think it really suits the overall look of the character itself, because I don't think that looks very appropriate. Too big for him. As I say, he looks real skinny, almost skeleton-like. I think it would have been more appropriate for the character design to have something more like a scythe that was made of fire. I think that would look a lot better than this. I think this mace would actually work a lot better with the Snarl figure. Snarls, like whatever you want to call him. But I think that weapon's more appropriate for him and feels out of place with the overall very skinny, lanky version of Swoop here. But it's not a bad figure by any means. It's just could have been a lot more done to it that give it more impressive. It could have been a little bit bigger. It is tall wise, it is the same size of any other deluxe, but it's just real skinny. It feels very fragile. Could have given a little bit more action to it besides being very posable. It is, like I said, by no means a bad figure, just very bland. It's mediocrity at its best. There's this really minimum effort put into making this a really fun toy. Really only recommended for Generation 1 or animated enthusiasts. Until next time, thank you for watching.